The dinosaur movie genre from the 1990s continues to be a nostalgic treasure trove for fans of the prehistoric era. Even while it is undeniable that Steven Spielberg's masterpiece Jurassic Park has possibly outlasted the dinosaur franchise, these terrifying animals have appeared in a plethora of other films that may have gone unnoticed. It's time to dig into the relics of the cinematic past. In light of this, we have compiled a list of 12 underappreciated dinosaur films to satiate your dino frenzy. Where are all my dino fans at? Let's dig up some fossils, shall we? But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. The Land Before Time. Dino movie buffs, are you ready? Prepare yourselves for trails of memory. I bet you remember the famous animation franchise from the 1980s, The Land Before Time. Well, gear up, for we're about to dust off the old tapes. The film opens with a stream of dinosaurs running to take cover from the oasis in the midst of heavy famine. Amidst the ongoing turmoil, a mother dinosaur gives birth to our lead character, Littlefoot, a brown, long-necked Apatosaurus. In a ripping-out heart scene, we later see Littlefoot's mother being killed by the vicious T-Rex, whom he calls Sharptooth, in an effort to defend her son. Because of the death of its mother, Littlefoot is forced to go on life without her beloved mom by her side. Encouraged by a defenseless dinosaur called Rooter, Littlefoot decides to follow her mother's dying wishes and journey on to find the Great Valley, a peaceful refuge from his terrible experience. He makes a number of friendships with dinosaurs of different characters and descent. Among them include Ducky, a kind and irrationally optimistic Saurolophus who provides him with the affection he requires, while Petrie and Sarah become his great buddies. Finally, the group was comprised of the sweet and loving Stegosaurus named Spike. All the way as they continue to trek, they face a lot of barriers and antagonists, those of the evil, extinct dinosaurs who must surely have trumped this lovely place. Through trial and error, yet more effort, they all reach the Grand Valley, where it is a reunion with them and their loved ones. If you think the movie doesn't delve beyond the simple comic adventures of this dino team, well, my friends, you're mistaken. Underlying the quests and hurdles of these reptiles' migration is a strong message of friendship, perseverance, and camaraderie. The young dinosaurs not only emerge victorious in their mission, but go through a journey of self-discovery, overcoming their fears and learning about empathy, bravery, and the power of teamwork. The heartwarming success of this varied squad not only puts a smile on our faces, but also showcases the beauty of determination and courage. With a whopping IMDb rating of 7.4, the movie carved a niche in hearts of even the critics. Applauded for an endearing story and excellent animation, the movie is known for its charm, sentimentality, and humor. Though it mostly targets itself for the younger audience, the film appeals to both the young and old. Nonetheless, the movie has stood the test of time by embracing a larger perspective and just telling an adventure story. Now, being a fellow dino lover, I can't ignore what a groundbreaking venture this film was. Be it the perfect balance of emotion and adventure, or the brilliantly curated music by James Horner, this movie shall remain a classic for decades to come and attract new generations of viewers. Land Before Time was indeed a movie before its time, exploring the intricacies of relationships, personalities, and prejudices. Worth a watch? What do you think? Dinosaur. This film, which revolutionized the experience of watching animated dinosaurs on screen, was produced by Walt Disney and The Secret Lab. Let's explore why this film is still phenomenal. The movie begins with a lone iguanodon egg, which, after losing its native nest to a Carnosaurus invasion, somehow ends up in a tropical island inhabited by prehistoric lemurs. Following the egg's adoption, Pilo, the daughter of the lemur leader Yar, decides to name the newly hatched baby as Aladar and raised him together with her daughter Suri. The movie then soon gives us a glimpse of teenage curiosity when Aladar witnesses a lemur mating ritual, which is soon interrupted by an apocalyptic meteor shower. Once he got home to this mismatched family, the island was destroyed by these explosive celestial bodies. Being the only survivors, the group is compelled to leave their homeland and flee to the mainland in search of safety. As Yar, Pilo, Aladar, Suri, and Zini, Pilo's teen brother, starts this excursion to the mainland, they're joined by other dinosaurs. The movie then traverses through various landscapes, where this team encounters several dangers, hurdles, and predatory dinosaur races like velociraptors and carnosaurs. When Aladar and his family settled in this wonderland fighting all obstacles, a fiery Carnotaurus attacks them. Will Aladar's leadership help them get past the threat? Watch this intriguing film to find out. Primarily revolving around the themes of survival and resilience, the film also highlights the significance of family bonding and cooperation when faced with danger. In spite of the lack of compatibility among various members of the group, a foundational unity is at play, which ultimately helps them to work together, promoting the idea of inclusion and acceptance. The Disney movie also makes an effort to preach environmental awareness while portraying the characters through a series of ecological disasters like volcanoes and meteor showers. This attempt to show the ecosystem's vulnerability and interdependence of all living beings makes the film engaging and interesting for audiences of all age groups. Though critics had mixed opinions about the film, criticizing it for lagging in complexity and nuances, it was celebrated for admirable visual effects and animation. Children were especially enamored by the movie's action scenes and VFX. However, the overall narration of friendship, endurance, and adventure made it a family entertainer. The subtle warning of impending environmental hazards, inclusion, and harmony among diversity is what makes the film a fan classic. The tones of solidarity, understanding, and intimacy among the team members are its USP in my opinion. Not to mention the captivating storyline with breathtaking animation is a cherry on the top. If you want to enjoy a family drama set in the dinosaur universe, this might be just the right pick for you. The Valley of Gwangi. Welcome to the wilderness from a Mexican valley, where fearless explorers travel and encounter deadly prehistoric creatures. As the era of dinosaurs crosses with the Western world, brace yourself for an exciting adventure. Saddle up, fellows. The plot is based on the search for an obscure valley in the city where archaic creatures, including dinosaurs, prowl. In the beginning, we are introduced to an attractive and talented performer, TJ Breckenridge, who desperately tries to save his failing business, the Wild West Circus. A British paleontologist, Professor Bromley. Bromley confirms that TJ's circus horse, El Diablo, is a prehistoric creature. During their expedition, they come across a forbidden region and a mysterious oasis with high peaks all around. Our stars are taken aback on discovering that this valley has surpassed the laws of time and is home to multiple primeval creatures like dinosaurs. The story, however, primarily focuses on a horrifying Allosaurus Gwangi. While TJ is keen on capturing Gwangi to exhibit at his circus and bring back his show's lost glory, Professor Bromley and Lope want to revere the valley as a divine place. Nevertheless, the circus troupe tries to abduct Gwangi, leading to several perilous events and clashes with the native deadly brutes of the region. In the midst of this chaos, Tuck and TJ's romantic past is reignited, adding to the thrill of the movie. In the cinematic climax, Gwangi escapes into the town during a show, causing a nail-biting brawl between man and animal. After TJ and his fellows stop Gwangi, they reflect upon the magic and horrors that loom in the valley. The film The Valley of Gwangi digs into the conflict between being pleased with what nature offers against what humanity develops, and the struggle between both of these realms. Obsessed with greed and wealth, the characters exploit prohibited caverns and its inhabitants, resulting in a massive display of devastation and carnage. The film served as an amazing reminder of what could occur when people match their desires with the environment for their own gain, emphasizing the importance of living in harmony with nature. The man versus beast battle is a brilliant ending to this film. The film shows the tension between the two basic elements of life, nature and civilization. Greed and oppressive choices reflect destruction and violence. The film was a classic example of the dangers of using biology to explore selfish human needs. Ray Harryhausen's groundbreaking techniques for graphic design certainly won the heart of critics. Known for its masterful blend of modern Western and mythological themes, the film is considered a major achievement in creative storytelling. While some critics may find the plot and characters simplistic and conventional, the promising elements make for an enjoyable experience. Want to witness a positive story of love, friendship, and unity with a dinosaur rampage party? Then this movie could be the one for you. Carnosaur. Get ready for a crazy race in Carnosaur. Dinosaurs don't just make recorded history, they are now wreaking havoc. Military, researchers, and ordinary people are all in for an exciting trip as they attempt to withstand the anarchy caused by a bizarre breeding experiment. The narrative revolves around a disappointed scientist, Dr. Jane Tiptree, who has secluded herself from the public eye to conduct research for the UNICE Corporation. Her innate hatred against humanity and a promise to eradicate the same and resurrect the dinosaur population leads to the creation of a life-threatening virus. Following this goal, she genetically engineers a virus which can transform women's bodies to gestate dinosaur embryos to unleash horrors on mankind. Dr. Tiptree's lab contains chickens as test subjects, which brings us to the start of a chaotic event. While one of the chickens hatch into a monstrous reptile, a Deinonychus, and goes on a killing spree, people near her laboratory in Nevada experience symptoms of flu. Tiptree further employs a Tyrannosaurus Rex to kill the UNICE security guard, Lyle, whose daughter also fell prey to Tiptree's monsters along with her friends. The only one to survive was Anne Thrush, hidden in the Watchman Doc Smith's tractor. The locals find a ray of hope when a group of survivors led by Sheriff Fowler, Doc Smith, and Thrush decides to confront the dreadful predators and uncover the truth behind the epidemic before it swallows the whole township. The group travels through precarious terrain and relentlessly fights the archaic beasts. News of the town's deaths reaches UNICE's sponsors, who trace it to Tiptree. In response, the government places the community under quarantine and resolves to kill all civilians on site. In response to the disaster, the UNICE government issued quarantine on the community and identified Tiptree to be the perpetrator of the incident. While Sheriff Fowler gets severely injured fighting a Deinonychus, Tiptree herself succumbs to the virus and births a dinosaur. The administration vows to find a cure for this infection. Both Doc and Thrush kill the T-Rex together, but is later killed by government officials. The theme of Carnosaur illustrates the dangers of scientific research as well as the fatal repercussions of messing with nature. It discusses ethical dilemmas, ecological sustainability, and interconnection, but also cautions scientists against over-ambition and the importance of considering ethical perspectives in their study. The movie received mixed reviews, though some praised its concept and methodical delivery. Others were disappointed by its limited budget and stale screenplay. The presentation of technical effects such as CGI can be lauded for its artistic merit and capacity to evoke nostalgia, but fails to compete with modern CGI technologies. Despite its dearth of critical success, the film maintains a cult following among those who enjoy watching B-rated films. In my opinion, the film was fantastic. Yes, it does feature a lot of graphic scenes of castration and belly gnawing, but that's all just a part of the fun. If you're a B-film enthusiast, then I would say Carnosaur is very worth looking into. Next up, The Dinosaur Project. Set in the wilderness of African jungles, this movie, released in 2012, is British sci-fi filled with adventurous twists. Get your hunting hats on, guys, it's time to enter the jungle. In the hunt for Mokele Mbembe, an apparent plesiosaur cryptid, a team of adventurers from the British Cryptozoological Society travel into the Congo. The group consisted of two cameramen, Jonathan, Liz, and Charlie, their flight attendant, and a tour instructor, Amara. Jonathan finds out that his son Luke has sneaked on board a helicopter during the ride. The helicopter crashed, killing the pilot, while others somehow managed to escape. They find out that the accident has damaged their satellite cell. As they approach the hamlet, they come upon bat-like creatures and an army of dinosaurs. Among them, Crypto, a theropod, appears to favor Luke. He places a camera around Crypto's neck to observe his movements. The party then follows the dinosaurs into the cave they swim into. Luke and Charlie find dinosaurs in a subterranean portal and are separated while attempting to pursue them. Luke then falls into the portal gateway and misplaces his camera. However, when Charlie realizes he lost the camera, the plot abruptly changes as he attempts to murder Luke. In a touching scene, Crypto intervenes to protect Luke from Charlie and two more dinosaurs, who then murder Charlie. The remaining explorers keep looking for their missing friends and come across plesiosaurs and pliosaurs before being reunited. When Luke eventually throws the bag with the recordings labeled The Dinosaur Project into a stream, it is later discovered by further explorers. The Dinosaur Project addresses themes of human intrigue, adventure, discovery, and the results of our curiosity. The movie explores concepts of survival, relationships, exploration, and the perils of tampering with unidentified forces, combining science and adventure to focus on the complexities of nature and ambition. The movie was lauded for its CGI efforts. Though critics had mixed reviews about the storyline, young children especially found the movie engaging and relatable, owing to 15-year-old Luke's character. This footage-oriented film does not let down animation and thrill. Personally, the shots in the scenic African forests, paired by impeccable visual effects, make the film worth a watch. If you want to witness some reverse chronology technology fun and lose yourself in the adventures of a young boy, this movie shall do it for you.
Roll back the rock to the dawn of time when Earth was smoking and the lava flowed. Roll back.
We're back, A Dinosaur Story. This 1993 adventure comedy movie revolves a more or less simple yet exciting storyline. Unexpected alliances and talking dinosaurs await you on this crazy adventure. Come along with an uncanny group of friends as they navigate an extinct universe filled with emotions, comedy, and thrill. The movie starts with the three bluebirds ruthlessly bullying their youngest brother Buster, who runs away from home and meets Rex, a talkative and skilled T-Rex. He starts out with a monologue to tell us about the evolution of the person Rex is in the present day, which brings the movie to the main plot. Rex was a former carnivore and ominous creature when one fine day he was taken inside a plane and was forced to take brain grain, a cereal that enhances intelligence. The captain of the ship and inventor of the grain, New Eyes, reveals his motive behind feeding the dinosaurs this cereal. He wants kids to meet real dinosaurs. He informs them that the expert from the Museum of Natural History, Dr. Juliet Bleeb, will take care of them. However, it is advised that they should be careful of Professor Screw Eyes, his cruel and cunning brother. Following the aircraft sequence, the movie shifts to the setting of New York City when New Eyes leaves the dinosaurs down near the East River in 1993. They meet Louie and Cecilia, a pair of young kids who wanted to work for the carnival. In an attempt to hide the dinosaurs from the public, Louie and Cecilia try to cover them up as floating balloons in the Thanksgiving parade, which fails and causes uproar. They somehow end up reaching the circus and meet Professor Screw Eyes, who tricks the kids into signing a contract. In order to save the kids, Rex agrees to take Screw Eyes' brain drain pills and revert to their monstrous selves. But Louie and Cecilia do not give up easily and save them with the help of a clown, Stub, and are finally rescued by New Eyes. We're back. A Dinosaur Story is packed with instructional values in addition to being entertaining. The plot comes down to an unbreakable link between human youngsters and dinosaurs. A distinct battle between the good and the wicked is depicted in the film, which is at last settled by the dinosaurs' bravery and cleverness in defeating the scientist, who is both too smart and too malicious. Even while the dinosaurs' problems make for some light-hearted moments, the movie ultimately emphasizes the value of relationships, flexibility, and cooperation. While young viewers found great connection in Werbach's silly dinosaurs and humorous mayhem, some critics are disappointed with the film's weak plot and frivolity. While it might not be the most creative cinematic venture, kids will enjoy the joyful and pleasant journey. The lighthearted yet interesting narrative definitely appealed to me, and if you're in the mood for some slapstick comedy in the Dinoverse, then do give this film a watch. Prehysteria. Made for some family entertainment, this series of monster comedy films traces the journey of 5 baby dinosaurs named after famous musicians. I promise you guys, this movie is a giant hug filled with unlimited cute and cuddly baby dinos. Get that popcorn ready. The film centers on giant creatures like Tyrannosaurs and Stegosaurs, having the most unmatching names of Elvis and Jaeger, respectively. The others, namely Paula, Hammer, and Madonna, are among the other beats, but only if they acted like one. The story opens with Rico Sarno, a voracious museum keeper who stole dinosaur eggs while hiding in a prohibited Amazonian shrine. However, luck takes over. When his co-worker, rancher Gus Taylor, jumbles up the eggs in a container, Julia and Robbie, the younger Taylor children, discover that the eggs have hatched and produced the cutest little dino babies. The youngsters make every effort to keep this a secret from their neighbors, but Paula and Elvis's roar makes it impossible to hide anything. In the meanwhile, Rick Sarno almost discovers the missing eggs. He's prepared to reclaim the asset that has been snatched from him, ending up on an intense pursuit. In this funny escapade, 3 adorable dinosaur pals of the Taylor kids must contend with Sarno, but they somehow always manage to use their cleverness to get out of sticky situations. If you take away Prehysteria's quirky elements, you'll find some incredibly insightful ideas. The Taylor siblings and their little dinosaurs form a unique family. They go beyond their doubts and learn to admire and respect each other. As the kids learn to use the dinosaurs' abilities to overcome obstacles, their bond strengthens. Meanwhile, the film skillfully exploits Riku Sarno, the antagonist, for his greed. An undertone of nature conservation and environmental concern is also present. The majority of people watched it for the warmth and the cuteness of the film, primarily appealing to children fascinated by the baby dinosaurs. Critics' complaints jokes for being silly and underdeveloped. The movie nonetheless is suitable for family enjoyment because of its straightforward story. The baby dinosaurs' antiques and the uncanny friendship between animals and kids is what makes the film one of my personal favorites. If you want to enjoy a simple, no-brainer movie night with your near and dear ones, this movie is the perfect choice. Don't forget to miss out on the old-school visual effects to steer your nostalgia. The Last Dinosaur is a Japanese live-action film directed by Alexander Grashoff and Tsunonobu Kotani in 1977, which later made an overseas release. Let's see what this ancient ride has in store. Owner of the multi-million corporation Thrust Inc., Maston Thrust is a greedy hunter who is informed about the existence of a peculiar creature's existence by a geologist, Chuck Wade. During an oil drilling operation, a laser drill polar borer accidentally pierced the surface of the glacier and entered an old valley filled with prehistoric monsters, including the Tyrannosaurus rex. Upon learning this, Thrust's eyes shined with a sick joy, and he decides to investigate this creature. Thrust assembles an uncomfortable team for this lethal mission: Dr. Kawamoto, a scientist, Bunta, an African guide, cameraman Frankie, and Chuck Wade. He gets hooked on the prospect of capturing the enormous T-Rex to showcase it as the ultimate trophy in the world. When something becomes an obsession, disaster follows. He dismisses Dr. Kawamoto's caution. Thrust's hunt for the T-Rex upsets the equilibrium and serves as a reminder to understand nature. Dr. Kawamoto's guidance demonstrates the significance of expertise and cooperation, differentiating between Thrust's harmful selfishness and expertise. However, the relationship that develops among them offers confidence. In addition to providing viewers with some dinosaur drama, the movie emphasizes the detrimental effects of environmental exploitation and greed. Though its old visual techniques and cliches can also turn off critics, The Last Dinosaur is a great B film for those who enjoy such matters. It creates a balance between a laughable appeal and primal thrills. Though the visual consequences aren't cutting edge and the plot is somewhat predictable, it is a part of what makes it fun. So guys, in case you want to enjoy a satisfying mixture of humor, warning, and dinosaur horrors, this film might simply do it for you. Planet of Dinosaurs. Join me for a ride further back in time in the science fiction movie Planet of Dinosaurs. A spaceship crashes on an unusual planet besieged by dinosaurs where the people struggle for survival. It uses a stop-motion visual effects style to bring the prehistoric creatures lifelike. Will the group survive in this vanished land amidst challenges like ferocious tyrannosaurs? Due to a mechanical malfunction odyssey, Captain Lee Northsight's space shuttle is forced to make a landing on an unidentified planet that appears to be identical to Earth, but is in fact millions of years away. When Cindy, the communication officer, tries to retrieve the satellites, she unexpectedly dies from a mysterious underwater monster. Shipwrecked on the alien planet, the 8 crew members chose to get acquainted with it in order to live. They discover that the vegetation is poisonous and the land is fraught with ancient dinosaurs like Brontosaurus. Lee plans to climb up on a higher plateau to protect themselves, but Nyala loses all the food supplies during the ascent. Vice President Harvey Baylor discovered a nest full of eggs where a Centrosaurus killed him. Jim, the ship's engineer, suggests that their last hope is to accept fate and build their own world there before the cave becomes their new residence. They build a barrier around it. However, Derna is killed by a T-Rex who also destroys the structure. The group devises a deadly plot to eliminate the assailant. Jim's strategy involves planting wood sticks and coating them with a poison mixture. The dinosaurs die slowly, leaving them in peace. As we see the team overcoming existential worries, resource constraints, and separation, we realize the film essentially shows human perseverance in the face of severe hardships. In the movie, people create new technologies and work together to overcome challenges, symbolizing the significance of human intelligence and teamwork. A tiny bit of hope appears every now and again, but the movie ending reminds us that the human spirit gives each day purpose. Critics often pointed out how this low-budget horror sci-fi flick of 1977 cleverly uses dinosaur animation to compensate for its cliched plot and shallow character development. Nonetheless, the film manages to evoke a sense of nostalgia for fans of classic science fantasy films, giving them a taste of the frivolous filmmaking in the 1970s. Fancy a goofy trip with a dose of historic energy? Then Planet of the Dinosaurs could be a great option for you. While the characters lack depth and the narrative is certain, this is nothing but an addition to its already campy appeal. Avoid if you're searching for serious science fiction, but it's worth watching if you want a fun diversion.
Come on, try and get me! Come on, you bastard, take me out! This way!
A Sound of Thunder. An American sci-fi of 2005, Sound of Thunder exposes the audience to a strange timeline where everyone is held responsible for killing the dinosaurs. The time travelers accidentally meddle with past events, which bring them to a dismal world. They have to fix their error before it pushes everything into oblivion once more. Based on a short story, the film is a warning to not interfere with the natural world. It brilliantly combines actions, spectacular animation, and tense storytelling into a thrilling roller coaster. Are you guys ready for the ride? The story is set at a time when a group of hunters under Travis Ryer embark on a time travel back to the dinosaur age. They all are assigned to maintain the course of history until things go wrong when somebody gets off the path. Abruptly, they return to the present day, but it seems like an utterly messed up world with a crazy climate and strange organisms everywhere. Travis works alongside Sonia Rand, who created the software for the time machine in order to fix this mess. Time waves are messing everything up and they race against them so as not to be lost in them. They have got little time left before this happens. Travis, daring to jump back into the past, will make this right and save their future. Unexpectedly enough, they come across proof that can completely close down their time travel venture. With help from Jenny, Travis ensures the truth comes out, thus preventing more disasters caused by tampering with time. This movie is about what can happen if you mess with the past and how quickly the present can take a disastrous turn. It uses the concept of the butterfly effect. This idea says that even small changes in the past can lead to big problems later on. The film carries a warning. It tells us to be careful about messing with time and how important it is to let things happen in their natural order. This film is a heck of a time travel ride involving prehistoric creatures stopping a whole what-if scenario of messing with history. Sounds fantastic, right? Well, for those looking for some gory fun and some dinosaur stomping, this journey back in time has some pretty amazing special effects. However, critics notice some flaws like the complicated story and underdeveloped character in Sound of Thunder. Nonetheless, the action and a strong performance by Jessica Biel make it passable for all but the most discriminating sci-fi fans. This may be just for you. Dino Time. Picture a group of kids discovering a time machine and being carried back in time to the prehistoric age. It's quite thrilling, isn't it? Well, that's this 2012 film's theme. Follow the adventures of three fearless young people, Ernie, Julia, his sibling, and their pal Max, as they come face to face with creatures like velociraptors and T-Rexes. Adventure is the only thing that makes Ernie happy. However, he finds it to pull off the quest under his mother Sue's restrictions and troublesome sisters who always bother him. Yet Ernie's fearlessness to challenge and sets the three kids, Ernie, Julia, and their pal Max, on an expedition that could have permanent repercussions. One day, Ernie discovered an elegant and glossy egg-shaped time capsule. As he got into the driver's seat, the kids started fighting to stop him from doing something dangerous. The device starts lighting up and shines, and before the children realize it, the gates close on the quarreling kids, when a time rift transports them to the strangest trip they've ever witnessed. The kids find themselves in a rich, undisturbed forest when the large doors swing open. Towering over them is Tyra, a living T-Rex who considers them family. Ernie comes to the realization that they won't be eaten by dinosaurs when Tyra treats them kindly. Tyra shows them around and introduces Dodger, her hyperactive son. Ernie is prepared for his greatest adventure yet, one that will go down in history. However, because the time machine appears to have lost a vital component following the crash, the challenge now lies in finding a way to return home. On the other hand, Kyra's dino foes intend to catch her using the egg from the device. The trip back home was fraught with difficulties. Meeting their real family again will require a great deal of planning and possibly Sue's surprising help. It is not simple to get out of Dino Time. The most valuable themes demonstrated in the movie are bravery, having wonderful friends, and being an effective member of a team. The trio successfully overcame obstacles of the ancient past by making use of their unique abilities. The movie stands out for showing how well the team members get along and put forth effort. The movie is a little messy, though it has a simple narrative and strong kid-friendly subjects. The animation was criticized for being weak. The rhythm shifts between comical and frightening. Still, it's a good option for a watch that offers a vibrant glimpse into the past. In my view, this movie is a thrilling journey with lots of fascinating scenes. It's a wonderful option for family movie time with lessons about duty and family ties told in a kid-friendly way.
Come on, Frosty. Come on. Oh,
The Lost World. Okay guys, for this last one, let's dig up some vintage dino thrills. The Lost World promises an exciting classic ride filled with old-school charm and prehistoric drama. Prominent biologist Professor Challenger lets the London Zoological Society that while traveling through an old and forgotten plateau in the Amazon region, he has discovered the living specimens of creatures previously thought to have gone extinct, mainly the dinosaurs. The members of this mission comprise a reporter, Ed Malone, whose publisher has also donated to the expedition, Hunter Lord John Roxton, David and Jennifer, the publisher's daring children, along with a flight pilot and assistant, Gomez and Costa, enter the Amazonian landscapes. While chasing a wild jungle through huge cobwebs, they discovered a journal of Burton, a former adventurer who collapsed on the plateau. Malone and Jennifer get detached from the group and somehow save their lives while battling two dinosaurs. The dinosaurs guarding diamonds in a lava pit, cannibals, volcanic eruptions, spider plants, and a cursed graveyard all turn this trip into a menacing affair. After a Tyrannosaurus egg hatches, Professor Challenger decides to keep the baby dinosaur and bring it back to London. It addresses the results of vanity, the conflict between nature and technology, and binds friendships made in the face of calamity. It's now not just about thrills and dinosaur fury, but a reminder about the importance of courage and cooperation. A wonderful and thrilling experience. The Lost World combines striking special effects to make up for its conventional narration. Its heartfelt dialogues and genuine characters somewhat compensate the unoriginal script. All the actors gave excellent appearances and performances, however, Claude Rains as the professor is particularly remarkable. Even with a few troubles with the narration, pace, and antique VFX, the movie is nevertheless a fun ride into uncharted territory. If you're looking for classic dinosaur action and some dated amusement, look out for the iconic 1960s rendition of The Lost World. I think the vintage monsters and outrageous adventures in the Amazonian basin will make a movie night. So buckle up and embark on this journey back in time. Marvelous verdict. Alright guys, that's a wrap. We've reached the end of this list of the 12 underappreciated dinosaur films that you really ought to see. The fantastic sceneries of primeval planets and dramatic dinosaur confrontations from this time period are nothing short of fascinating. So tell us which one was your favorite down in the comments below. As always, if you like the content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.